Welcome back to to Black Clover Anime Review, episode 120. This is reviewing the final episode of Black Clover, episode 170, which is called Faraway Future. Yep, that's the name of this title. Yeah, that's something else altogether. Yeah, so this one itself it adapts from chapters 268, 270, and adapts the first few pages of chapter 272. We actually start off with basically Libe's backstory here, because the episode they finally reveal his name in the anime. I've known since I read the manga, where the underworld is shown a little more detailed than the manga. In the manga, it's shown for a couple pages, like 2 or 3 pages, and that's it. Here, it's shown for a good about 3 or 4 minute sequence, which I like the fact that they're a little more detailed in the anime. And also, we do see Libe, him getting beaten up by a lot of people because he's got no magic, and he's abominable. And then we see something we actually did not see in the actual manga. This part was actually completely original. The gate to the underworld, which is closed. Yes, closed. And all these devils really want to leave the underworld, but they can't because of that door being closed. So, they throw Libe up there. He thinks he's going to get splat on that door. Nope, he just phases right through it, comes out, and in case you're curious though, what happens next is pretty much straight, not really much change here. He just walks through a town. Everybody sees the devil. He gets they attack him, and pretty much like he gets to a forest. He's about to be injured, and he's found by a person turned out to be a woman named Larita. Yes, you're probably noticing though that this woman looks exactly like Asta. Libe confirms by the end of the episode, this is Asta's mother. Yes, this woman is Asta's mother. Though they don't say it until he says it later on in the episode. And then she pretty much... Now this next sequence is actually kind of a bit out of order a bit, but not really, no. You might think it is, but it really isn't. So, he wakes up and he's been treated by Larita. And she shows off her magic. Well, apparently she has been able to put stuff inside of bottles. And she lives away alone because of her magic, basically. She also is able to drain away life force. Which kind of sounds like Henry's power, believe it or not. Yes, it sounds exactly like his power. And Libe, not having any magic, is able to be around her no problem. This might be very lonely. And they show a montage of them together, like taking the bath, sleeping, making a snowman, various stuff. It seems like they were together for like a year, and then... Now, this sequence is from the manga itself, but I like what they do in the anime a little better, because I think that the artist may have been experimenting with this, with the way that Lucifero appears, which they changed the coloring a bit. He appears a little more blackish gray than he does in the manga. The manga is very gray. Now, interesting thing when it comes to this particular devil is that this devil is the one who Dante is the host to. Yes, this is the same devil. And he's possessing a devil who's in the real world. Lucky enough that Larita basically has built a dream power. That she gets stabbed, but they show a flashback. This next part is complete anime original. But it does basically... This is something that's actually, this whole little bit of her giving away her kid, and her kid is Asta. Yep, it's Asta. Now, if you read the manga chapters that this is adapted from, this particular moment is never shown in the manga. It is mentioned by Libe later. This basically does confirm that she was one who left her there, just like how Yuno was left by the guy who they found in the start of this arc. So, she dies, but before she dies, she basically puts Libe inside of this grimoire that she found, which happened to be Lick's grimoire. Yes. Now, where she happened to find us, I don't know. And it seems though the village Liebe ended up just Happy Hodge Village. My guess is this is probably about, I'd say, 16, 17 years for present day. It's about 20 years for present day because Asta's already been born. So there's that. Yep, and excuse me. Then, of course, they complete the devil binding ritual successfully. And Asta's like, no, let's do it devil befriending ritual. Become friends, become fine. Equal contract. The vice captain is a bit, let's say, a bit worried about this, but it works. Like a bit unusual. And, well, then it is now time to train. What happens next is not shown in the anime. What happens next is the actual training itself. I'm not really sure. Now, I kind of get the reason why they decided to end it here. Because one have like a montage of all the characters who are not Yami or Vanchins who are imprisoned. And we see various characters what they're up to. You do see briefly, with him training. And then, of course, Longoris shows up. Now, this actually is from the manga. Yes, this entire sequence. This is one of two things actually canon. The other thing they show is Meliola naked in lava. That actually is from the manga too. That's from later on in the actual arc itself. Why is it included here? Because it's Meliola in the news and she's hot. We do see her brother Fergolion basically appearing the Crimson Line squad. We see the Black Bulls. We see briefly Zora and Magna, two characters who have remarkably been absent this whole arc. My guess is the reason why that they include them in this sequence, and this is my personal guess, because, well, it's the final episode of the anime, though I'm going to talk about what's been announced. Well, officially it's been announced what's happening afterwards. And we see various other characters. We see Jack the Ripper. We see the current captain of Purple Orcas. We see Nozel and his other siblings, where they're standing in front of the picture of their portrait of their late mother. And we also see Noel's group. This particular moment, I believe, is also anime original, because in the manga, you see him mentioning that they need to train, and you don't see what happens next. This is another thing. I do appreciate the anime adding this in, where they go to this tree to begin their training of the ultimate magic, where everybody's there and they want to train. Okay, good. We do see the Spirit Guardian briefly. Yes, we see him very briefly. Doesn't say anything. And, well, after all that montage, also during the fight between... I'll just point out to this, that during the ritual between Asta and Liebe, we do see brief flashes of various characters Asta has met with the course of the series, like a sword trainer, which, yeah, this guy only appeared, his last appearance back in Witch's Forest arc. We also have Mars. Yes, they brief flashed to Mars, which, now you're probably thinking, is that complete and original? No, they actually show that in the manga. He also, the guy he met during the Undersea Temple arc, came back in a couple other arcs. Basically, various other people he's following in the series, including Yami. I thought it was a great sequence. It did perfectly. We also have basically a montage, basically what's came before, looking back in the series somewhat. It's overall a really good episode in the series. Now, before I talk about new stuff in the manga, what's officially announced exactly what's happening next with the series? There's a movie coming. Yes, a Black Clover movie. As far as I know, there's been no official release date for it. No, not really. I thought that was kind of weird. The fact that we didn't have basically a release date for it. And they announced this like the day before the actual final episode aired. Yeah, but the thing is, there has been no official, release date. Aside from the fact that we actually have a movie coming, this was announced a couple of days ago, there's been nothing else released. No, not really. Do I think we might get some in the future? It's possible. Yep. But this overall was a really good episode, and a nice way to end the series. As of currently for the manga, because they just reached this episode, you're probably thinking, oh, because they got 272, they probably got about, Well, they skipped over 71, but I think that because this is chapter number 87, there's roughly about 16 chapters. No, there's actually 17. Because they never finished adapting chapter 272. They actually just adapted the first few pages. Alright, first up we saw was cover image. I believe this is the correct one, right? Yeah, this is the correct one. Of this cover image of Asta and Yuno in their magical form when the thing comes up here. Here we go. Yeah, it's an absolute really good image. Yep. Now, I highly doubt I'll get a copyright check for showing one image in the manga. Okay, this is called Day of Atonement. We start off with basically Nagent. We're still battling the demons from the last several chapters. We see a flashback with Yami where he says, "I'm going to form my own. Someday I'm going to form my own brigade." And he's like, "Me, a captain, is ridiculous. Make it happen. You'll be my vice captain. Both good." Laugh together. Yeah, this is Nagent's older brother. And then we see his devil and we see, well, his fight with the other two female devils. Yeah, the way his hands move almost seems like one is about to be groped. Yep. And he basically trying to take them on in this dimension with the color tree basically coming up. And they use devil ice magic, devil flame magic. That's the devil uses. And he gets injured. Like, good, laughing. Like he's seriously dying. And then Asta shows up. Yes, Asta shows up and chops up one of the devil's arms. Yes, and he says devil unity mode, which you only can maintain for about 5 minutes. And they're like, what's this? It's severed. Hey, what do you think you're doing to our vice captain? Hey, it's anti-magic. Wow. What a great ending to the chapter. But it seems as though, we got like a lot, like not much happening. Seems with this chapter where it's like, oh, let's just have basically a brief flashback, not to getting tortured the whole chapter, and then have a great ending with Asta. It felt as though the chapter went by just a little too quickly. That seems like to me. But still got great artwork though. I'm gonna give the chapter roughly I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. It's a great chapter, and I can't wait for the next chapter whenever it does come out. Yep. So yeah, that's it for particular review. Stay tuned for my comic corner where we'll discuss Avengers West Coast. Okay? See you next video. Bye.